astrophotography, a magical combination of astrology and pictures. Now, as with most hobbies, it's easy to see beautiful pictures online and think, I might as well try it. But wait, I must warn you, the rabbit hole of hobbies is a dangerous area and you should only proceed with caution. I know from experience. Well, these pictures are obviously out of my experience and budget, but it doesn't mean I can't do anything, right? Well, today we'll find out together what I can do with only my DSLR and its very basic lens. In case you're curious, there's a Nikon D3500 and the 1840 lens. If you want to go for deep sky objects like nebulas, you will probably need a focal length of 3-400, but for now we will be fine. By the way, I'm not a professional and most likely I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes and a lot of shortcuts. If you actually want to get into astrophotography, there are millions of channels covering this topic. Right now, I just want to record what I do at nights. First and foremost, the first step is to check if the sky is clear. If that is that, I'll look for some objects that I want to capture. Since I'm a huge noob in this topic, and well, I do rock a default lens, I don't really dare to go for nebulas just yet, but they aren't the only beautiful object in the sky. Tonight, I think I will go for the Cygnus. Without it sounding like a tutorial, quick TLDR, we're gonna make 4 different types of shots, each with their own purpose. The main and most important category is lights, aka the main shots. Basically, we'll just capture the sky without many shenanigans. After finding the right ISO, which is about 1600 for me, but feel free to experiment, and the right exposure time, I make some test shots to see if the stars are in the picture and if the conditions are good. And about the exposure time, yeah, I'm not going into it, it depends on how much you zoom in, your sensor, but just make sure the stars are not blurred out in your shot. This is bad. If you see these blurs, make sure to lower the exposure time. After finding the correct settings, connect your phone or remote clicker or something and start making pictures. Yes, it's a bit tedious, always clicking, but unless you want to buy something like a remote control, this is the best free option. And usually I'm just listening to podcasts meanwhile. Now, after 30 minutes and like 100 something pictures, I think it should be enough. And we move on to our next type of shots, the darks. Again, I'm not a professional, so I can't really explain it well, but basically every camera, every lens, every sensor is a little different, there are little imperfections, so in order for our application later on to be able to correct these imperfections, with the same ISO and exposure settings, let's put back on the camera cap and take about 20 shots. After we are done, let's make our biases. Still leaving the cap on, turning exposure to the lowest possible time. We will make some very quick shots, about 100. And now the final, and actually from my experience the hardest type, the flats. It's hard because the professionals are using some specialized tools for it, and while they say it can be done with a tablet and just a t-shirt, I never really had much success with it. Well, let's try it. Maybe this time it's gonna be different. Grab a tablet with a fully white screen, grab a white t-shirt, and using your original ISO and about out exposure, take some shots through the t-shirt. And afterwards, ta-da! We're done! Let's head inside and edit the photos together. For editing, and as far as I know most people, use a free app called Serial. Okay, it didn't turn on. Organize your shots into different folders, lights, darks, biases, flats, and put them into pictures. With the Serial, click Scripts and start processing. And there it is, the beautiful Milky Way. Somewhere there. Well, you still need to edit the photo, which is not necessarily in the scope of this video, but after some tinkering and experimenting, eventually you will see the final result. Honestly, it's not too good, but I kind of like it. Obviously, it's not gonna be like those nebulas and far galaxies that you see in photos made with thousands or maybe millions of dollars of equipment. But hey, it's fun. And actually, there's something refreshing just being outside and clicking a button. The fresh air and the calmness of the night. I recommend everyone to give it a try at once, You can even use your phones nowadays. But just be aware, this is a very dangerous rabbit hole to go down on. So, yeah, be cautious.